What's going on, guys, and welcome back to my F1 2021 My Team Career Mode for Part 3. Today we've got Round 2 of the championship of our first season, which is the Spanish Grand Prix. So we go into this one, we've got a personnel department kind of event going on. This is the first time this has happened, so let's see what this is.
The personnel department has asked us to deal with this. We have a couple of options here. Take your time. What you decide to do will have consequences.
So basically, they want us to give our teammate Christian Lundgaard a bit more of a boost when he's using the simulator. We can either improve his pace, which improves his pace by 7, or his awareness by 7. I'm like, what do I want to do? So I have a little think about it, but in the end, I decide to go for pace. I think that is what we want to do. We want to get some more pace in the car, get him up to maybe our level, see how he does.
Thanks. I appreciate you taking the time to help out.
No worries, mate. I am the manager after all. So now we go into some other stuff. So we go through to the activities. We're going to do the reaction timing for Lundgaard to get his stats up there a little bit more for this next race, the Spanish Grand Prix. We're also going to do a few other little bits here. We have quite a lot of space here because there's a season break, a big season break here for some reason. I don't really know why. There's just a big break between Bahrain and round 2 in Spain. I am using the full calendar, so don't know why such a massive break there, but we can pretty much almost do every upgrade. So I decided to do the durability equipment upgrade, which basically just gives the morale boost for durability. It gives them a bit of a boost, and I think gets us some resource points too. And we do a few other like driver and team kind of acclaim boost things there to get some things up. Now we've got a few developments that failed through the R&D. One of our chassis upgrades failed, so we're gonna just go ahead and redevelop that one, get that one going. Towards the start of the season, we're gonna have quite a lot of R&D failing because, you know, our facilities are not very much up to spec so far, so the chances of them failing are like 40%, 30% at best at the moment, really. So yeah, we're gonna have quite a lot of things failing. So I also do a couple of other upgrades there. We're also going to do the resource point generation for the powertrain. We simulated through, and then one of the powertrain upgrades we did, that also failed, so we're going to redo that one as well. And our ICE durability upgrade failed too, so let's redo that.
Hate to drop this on you, but we could do with your expertise on this.
So we have this. The recent extreme weather has finally breached the team's HQ's flood defenses, and we have minor flooding in some areas of the facility. Some of the equipment's been damaged, but it's hard to tell how much. Now, if we wait for equipment to fail before purchasing replacements, we'll lose momentum every time it happens. But if we're proactive and purchase replacements now for all the at-risk equipment, we'll be able to react more quickly to future failures, but it's going to cost a lot more today. How do you want to proceed? So basically, we can either do the safe solution, which is the safe solution where we buy upgrades now. It's going to cost us $100,000. If we do the cheap solution, it's going to cost us 1,000 resource points. So I decided to go for the safe option.
The department wants me to pass on their thanks for helping out.
Alright, so that is that one done, and then we're all ready to go. We can advance on to the Spanish Grand Prix. We go into Q1. I forgot to record the kind of intro bit that plays when you go into qualifying, so we don't have that this time. Sorry about that. We just go straight into Q1, and as you can see here, this is the 5th fast lap that we've done, and we're only sitting P18. Now, I did actually change the difficulty up from 99 to 100. Probably shouldn't have done it, to be honest. I mean, yes, because I was thinking in Bahrain, we ended up P6, which is way above where the car should sit. But at the same time, that was mainly because the safety car was strategically placed for us, and we made a good strategy because of that. We still weren't super quick on track. I mean, we're only a 10th quicker than our teammate, so really, I think 99 was the best way to go, but I decided to just do an experiment. Put it up to 100 for this one, and well, I don't know if it was a mix of that and also me just not being very comfortable on this circuit. I'm just really struggling on the Spanish Grand Prix at Catalunya this season. On this game, the curbs are vicious and I'm just not finding any pace at all. So we're currently in we're now down in P20, and we come down to finish our Q1 lap. We actually go slightly off the pace, and I don't think we actually go quicker, but this is the footage that I used, and yeah, it's going to be out in Q1 for the Spanish Grand Prix. Really not a good position at all. We actually get beaten by our teammate Lundgaard, who finishes up in 17th, only just narrowly missing out on Q2. We're all the way down in P21, so we've got a lot of work to do, but I really don't know if we have the pace in the race.
Welcome along then to what promises to be another fascinating Spanish Grand Prix, a race which saw Max Verstappen win on his first ever appearance with the Red Bull team in 2016. This after the dramatic coming together of Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg on the first lap. Will we see more moments for the scrapbook here today? It's a sellout crowd of 140,000 here today as we await lights out for the 730-metre sprint down to turn 1 of this 2.9-mile racetrack. Overtaking is challenging through these 16 corners, but there's still a lot of high-speed excitement to be found, including the flat-out turn 3 and the terrifying blind right of turn 9. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Valtteri BOTTAS lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Perez, Daniel Ricciardo, and Norris, Leclerc, Sainz, Stroll, and Pierre Gasly, Fernando Alonso, Raikkonen, Esteban Ocon, and Tsunoda, Giovinazzi, Lundgaard, George Russell, and Nikita Mazepin, Vettel, Mick Schumacher, Shaw, and Nicholas Latifi. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
So we're on the back row of the grid for the Spanish Grand Prix. We go to 5 red lights and we are underway for the Spanish Grand Prix round 2 of our My Team career mode. It's a decent enough getaway for us. We managed to just pull in front of Mick Schumacher in front of us to currently be in 20th place. All the cars in front of us really, you know, together there. We kind of get around the outside of Mazepin, but we can't quite make the move stick. There are cars all over the place in front of us. We just kind of have to drop back and, you know, we've made up one position. We're doing better than where we qualified currently, getting Schumacher off the start, but, you know, I still don't know what our pace is going to be like here. Pace in qualifying was really poor. I also couldn't put the difficulty back down to 99 again, because in this race, for some reason, you could, in the previous game, you could change difficulty between like sessions, but in this game you can't. You go into a practice session on a certain difficulty, you have to stick with that difficulty until you finish the race. So we're on 100 difficulty again here. I don't think the 99 would really have made a difference anyway. I generally just don't think I have good pace on this circuit. But I mean, it's obviously not just our car though. It's really me, I think, because Lundgaard, he actually started up in 16th place, gaining a place on Sebastian Vettel because Sebastian Vettel would get a grid penalty for whatever reason. He'd start down in like 19th or something, so I think he's just a bit ahead of us there, maybe made up a few positions, but yeah, we come onto the end of lap 1, and yeah, we've just not really been able to do anything. Kind of got a similar gap between Mazepin and Schumacher. We are in a Haas sandwich right now. If we go back to the start of the race, we'll have a look at a replay. Looking at Max Verstappen here, he started in 3rd place, gets a really good run off the start, manages to get past Lewis Hamilton. Going into turn 1, he is hanging around the outside of Valtteri BOTTAS, which puts him on the inside for turn 2, and it's side by side, Max Verstappen and Valtteri BOTTAS. He's going all the way around the outside, and he has managed to make the move stick. Brilliant driving from Max Verstappen at the start of that race. Things weren't completely exciting for me, but at least at the front of the grid we can see there is some good stuff going on. Looking back at Daniel Ricciardo, he's in 4th place. He's managed to jump Sergio Perez off the start line, and they're going to go too wide into this corner, which is a crazy corner to go too wide. Daniel Ricciardo does manage to come out on top though, Perez letting off a bit, and now he's got Charles Leclerc behind him for company, so he's got to try and keep the position back from him. Going on to lap 3 now, and we're kind of just sticking in the same sort of space. We've made a tenth or two on Schumacher, to be honest, and maybe gained a tenth on Mazepin, but I just don't feel like we're really consistent enough on this track, and this is not a great track for overtaking. I mean, we've seen some great side-by-side action from the AI in this game, and in this race, and let me just say that in this game, the AI are so much better with wheel-to-wheel racing. It's so awesome to watch them do wheel-to-wheel racing. I mean, you'll only have to watch my first video, well, the second part, the first round of this series last time in Bahrain, to see how good racing we had with the AI and how good of a racing they had with each other. We now go into lap 4, and yeah, same old. We're pulling even a bit more of a gap to Schumacher behind, but it's kind of sticking behind Mazepin. But then we get this.
Don't panic just yet, but we've seen a problem at our end. We're looking into it.
So it's the same message that I got in Bahrain. You didn't hear it in Bahrain because I had my my audio coming out of my PS4 controller. I've now switched it so it comes through the TV no matter what, because I'm using my wheel for this, but it still comes through the controller if it's turned on. I had this message in Bahrain. In Bahrain, it didn't come of anything. However, what's going to happen this time? Well, we're about to find out with another message.
Okay, we have a severe engine issue. Find a safe space to retire or return to the pits.
And just like that, we're out. 4 laps in to the Spanish Grand Prix. We have our first mechanical failure, severe mechanical failure. We have to retire from the race. We have no choice. We are out of the Spanish Grand Prix. It's only our second round into the championship and already we retire. Wow. I mean, if that's things to come, it's not looking good.
They've done it then. A spectacular victory here in Spain and a massive confidence boost going into the next race. And talk to me. What do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
So Valtteri Bottas makes it 2 in a row. He takes a big lead over the championship with his rival Hamilton in 3rd place this time. Sergio Perez manages to get 2nd place up on the podium. Don't know what happened to Verstappen because, as we saw at the start, Verstappen managed to go from 3rd all the way to 1st at the start of the race. He obviously dropped back somewhere because he ended up finishing in 4th place. So yeah, Bottas takes the lead of the continues his lead of the championship, extends it. We're all the way down in last place. Lundgaard finishes in 16th, so it's a decent finish from him. He finishes where he started, but yeah, really disappointing that, you know, that happened. Although if it was going to happen, I'm happy it happened in this race because we didn't look like we had any pace at all. We were never going to get any points, so I guess it's not all bad. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please go ahead, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.